Okay, on to my favorite part, blow stuff up. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you're going to need to introduce challenge and danger to the space shooter game. Make sure you have your USB flash drive plugged in, Windows E, go to your flash drive, Colstock, Game Dev, Space Shooter, and double click on the spaceshooter.capx. Let's take a look at our layers. There's our layout, and right now it consists of two layers, a background and content. Make sure content is active and unlocked. We're going to insert a new object. It's going to be a sprite called meteor. Below the layout, click and then go to the folder to import the image we're going to use for our meteors. Once you've selected it, you can close with the red X. Let's add a behavior to the meteor. We're going to add the bullet behavior. Just like so. Close with the red X. We're going to create an animation for our meteor. So right click on the meteor, choose Edit Animations. We're going to make a 4-frame animation. We're going to use the same meteor, but we're going to rotate it 90 degrees 4 times. So we're going to duplicate the frame we do have, rotate it 90 degrees, duplicate that frame, rotate it 90 degrees, duplicate that frame, rotate it 90 degrees, and this is going to simulate our meteor spinning. Go ahead and close. Let's come back in. We're going to change the speed and the loop property of the animation. And if you preview it, that's what your meteor will look like when it's on the layout. All right. We're going to create a family. A family is something that can store different types of related objects. We're going to add our meteor to it, and we're going to give our family a meaningful name, enemies, the capital E. Anything that can cause danger, destroy the spaceship, we're going to add to this enemies family. Right now, it's just meteor. Okay, we have a meteor object. Now we need to add code that creates meteors. Go to System, and under Time, you're going to choose every X seconds. Enter 0.4, which means 400 milliseconds. So 2.5 times a second. Click Add Action. Once again, choose System. And we're going to create an object. We're going to create a meteor. And our meteors we're going to create on the content layer. Now this is where things are different. The X coordinate is going to be based upon a random number. We're going to use the random function. And we're going to pass it 0 and the width of the window. For Y, the north and south coordinate, we're going to use the view top function and pass it the value of content, the content layer. And then we're going to subtract 50 from it. This is going to push it 50 pixels beyond the top of the layout. So every 400 milliseconds, we are going to create meteors. Let's add another action. For the meteor, we want to randomize its size. So we're going to set the scale. Once again, we're going to use a random function so that we're getting random sizes. And we're going to pass it 0.5, which is half size, and 1.4, which is 140% of the regular size. Let's add another action. Now let's randomly set the angle that the meteor travels in. Choose angle. And once again, we're going to use the random function. We're going to pick between 60 and 120 degrees randomly. One more. Once again, for the meteor, we are going to set the speed of its bullet behavior. Once again, using the random function to a value between 200 and 400. and then click Done. This is all the code we need to programmatically, periodically create meteors at a random size, angle, and speed. Let's add an event to destroy old meteors. Go to System, scroll down. Under Loops, you're going to choose For Each, and the object is going to be meteor. We're going to add an additional condition to this event. We want to compare two values. We're going to compare the meteor's Y position, and we want to see whether it's greater than the value of the spaceship's Y position plus the window height. This is our way of figuring out whether the meteor is off the screen, far enough off the screen to destroy it. Then we're going to add an action, choose meteor, and under miscellaneous, click destroy. So the code will be looking to destroy meteors periodically. Okay, it's time to lock the content layer and to add a new one. We're going to add a new layer that's going to have our explosions. When our meteors collide with lasers, they're going to blow into huge piles of particles. We need a layer to put our explosions on. Make sure it's active and that it's unlocked. All right, go back to Projects, Insert New Object. This time we're going to use a Particles object, and we're going to name it Meteor Particles. Insert. When the crosshair appears, you'll see that it wants to put it on the explosion layer. Make sure you're putting it below the layout. Open up the folder, navigate to the small meteor image, and close with the red X. Now we need to set the properties for our particles. Go to Properties, and for rate, change it to 25. Our spray cone is going to be 360 degrees, and these are going to be one-shot particles. Under Initial Particle Properties, change size to 50, opacity to 30, the X randomizer to 35, the Y randomizer to 35, the size randomizer to 25, and the grow rate randomizer to 5. Under particle lifetime properties, we're going to change acceleration to be -200 and timeout to be 0.8, 800 milliseconds. All right, let's go back to our event sheet. We are going to add code to destroy the meteors and create these particle explosions. All right, let's choose laser for the event. On collision with another object. When the laser collides with the meteor, we want to perform the following actions. First one, choose meteor and destroy. That's going to destroy the meteor. Save that. Let's add another action. Go to System, and we're going to create an object, a meteor particle, on the explosion layer, and we're going to do that at the location of the meteor that we just destroyed. Meteor dot X for its X coordinate, and meteor dot Y for its Y coordinate. So we're destroying the meteor, creating a particle explosion whenever the laser collides with a meteor. Lastly, let's add another action. We ultimately want to destroy the laser that collided with the meteor. So choose laser, miscellaneous destroy. So we have the code that creates the meteors, and we have the code that destroys them and creates a particle explosion. Next, we need to create an explosion with an animation for our spaceship, because our spaceship can be destroyed as well. Let's make sure that the explosion layer is active. We're going to insert a new object. It's going to be a sprite. And we're going to call it explosion. Remember, this is the explosion for the spaceship. Insert, and let's make sure we place it below the layout. Let's go to the folder. And this one is going to be a 7-frame animation. So start with explosion 1 and continue on to creating a 7-frame animation. For each frame, choose the image and add it to the default animation. Simply right-click, add frame, select open, and continue on down the line till you have a 7-frame animation. You may have to delete the last frame. As you can see, there are 7 different images. All right, red X to close. Come back in to explosion, go to edit animations, and we're going to change the default animation. Let's change the speed to 10. Do not loop it. All right, this should be pretty cool. Now we need to add code to destroy the spaceship when it collides with the meteor. So go to add event and choose the spaceship. You're going to choose the on collision with another object event if it collides with anything in the enemy's family, which includes meteors. You're going to perform the following actions. So add action, choose scroller. Find it scroll to and set it to disabled. Add another action. Double click the spaceship and under miscellaneous choose destroy. Let's create another action. Choose system, create object. The object we want to create is the explosion itself. We want to create it on the explosion layer. And we want to create the explosion in the location of the spaceship that was just destroyed. Spaceship.x, spaceship.y. All right, 2 more actions. Let's choose system. And under time, we're going to add a wait of 1 second. Lastly, under system, we are going to restart the layout, which means when the spaceship's destroyed, everything restarts and we play again. Okay, let's look at our code, double check it. When the spaceship collides with any kind of enemy, meteor or otherwise, we disable the scroller scroll to, we destroy the spaceship, create an explosion, wait 1 second, and then we restart the level all over again. So let's save and run our layout. As you can see, meteors are coming, random sizes, angles, and speeds. The lasers are destroying them and creating particle explosions. When the spaceship is hit by a meteor, it spawns an explosion as well. The 7-frame animation we created earlier. Then we wait 1 second and the layout restarts. Make sure you save.